Hello everyone, my name is Catherine Farrell from Cardiff University Business School, and I'm here talking to you this afternoon on this video about the MSc Public Leadership course. This is a new course we have here in the university, and it's in a second cohort, and it's specifically aimed at people who are working in public service roles and those who aspire to leadership or are currently in leadership roles. Clearly the focus is on public leadership, so what we want to develop is better leadership, better management, and really better public services for the citizens of the areas that they're from. The central focus of the course is really challenge focused, and really what we want to do with this really is to talk about the challenges we face in public services and how these can be overcome and addressed. So we think of challenges like loneliness, for example, or the current challenge. And the reason I'm talking to you today on the video is because we are challenged today by the emergency, the pandemic we're facing, COVID-19. And the reason I'm talking to you on the videos today is because normally we would talk to our students or prospective students in person. So today really is one of those challenges, and everybody everywhere is looking at this challenge from different perspectives. Together, that's the academics on the programme and the graduates who are on the programme. Together, really what we're looking at is real life challenges and how these can be resolved. The context of the course is public leadership. And for those of you working in public services, you will know that, clearly there are a number of contexts which are really unique within public services. The first is, the context of public revenue and spending public finances. And the second is public accountability. And the third, elections. So if you can imagine, if you've got an administration which is Conservative led and then it moves to Labour or Plaid Cymru or to the Liberal Democrats or to any other political party, then what we expect to happen is that we expect policies to change as well. So the context of public leadership is very much the backdrop for this course. You'll see from the prospectus, there are a number of modules on the course. So the modules themselves, the detail of the modules: contemporary challenges in public service leadership is the first one. Secondly, leading public service change. Third, leading policy and delivery. Number 4, innovation and creativity in public services. And then the work-based project. Just to go into the detail of these. So the first module, I'm module leader for that. And the module is called Contemporary Challenges in Public Service Leadership. So the challenges, including the ones that we've mentioned already, COVID-19, plus loneliness, plus crime, teenage pregnancy is another one. But there's lots of other challenges that the groups who are currently on the course have focused on. They've brought many of their challenges in work. And if you think about it, some of the ones we worked on were, for example, delayed transfers of care, clearly an issue for many within health and social care, where social services need to work much more efficiently with health and social care. So these agencies need to come together better. Contemporary issues of collaboration. For example, we need those receiving public services to receive them not from, whether from private sector or public sector or from any other department, but we want people to come together much more collaboratively to deliver the service to the citizen of Wales. So that's the first module, and the group have really enjoyed that. The second module, delivered by colleagues of mine, leading public service change, is really about leading change and putting policies into practice. So essentially it's about leadership and change. And for you as leaders then, it's about reflecting on where you are in that leadership journey and also thinking about where you want to be in the future. So reflecting on your own capacity as a leader and developing your leadership capabilities. So who are our leaders and what do they do and how do they impact on change? Module 3 is leading policy and delivery then. So we have the policies, how do we deliver them? So we've got the policies designed, they're there, the politicians have put them into place. How do we get them implemented? Those of you who are currently working in many roles within public and third sector organisations will think about, well, here's the idea, here's the policy, the manager, the senior chief executive has had the idea, why wasn't it implemented? And the issue there is the implementation gap within many organisations. So the idea at the top actually doesn't really reach the bottom. And why is that? So leading policy and delivery is about closing that implementation gap and also bringing in, ideas around middle managers. What do they do? Many people call them the sticky middle. Now, whether we want to think of them as the sticky middle or not, but essentially what we want to do is we want the middle of the organization, i.e. middle managers, to be able to implement the ideas of the chief executives and the people who are devising strategy. So leading public policy and delivery is essentially about leading change. And the last module, innovation and creativity, is focused on, okay, so we've got the ideas. How can we innovate? Now, many of you can think about how you currently receive public and third sector services. And often, as people who are delivering services, we've got brilliant ideas for change, but sometimes nobody asks us what they are, or sometimes they're too hard to implement. Or really what this module is getting at is, how can we innovate? Now, there are many organizations that assist us in this, but how can we develop new ideas and get them put into practice? So innovation and change is really reflecting on, where are public services and could they be differently and better organised? This last module is trying to get us to think about how services, how policies could be delivered in a different way to be actually more effective around citizens' needs. Instead of being, if we think about all of our services, they tend to be very organisationally focused. People talk about they work for an organisation, and yes, they do, but essentially what they really are doing is they're working within a service. And if we think services instead of organisations, I think we'll be innovating and changing and making things better for citizens. And the final project is a work-based project, which is a research project, a dissertation by another name. But what this is it gives you the opportunity, as the person who's studied all of the modules on the course, but it gives you an opportunity to pick up an area that you're interested in, or your organisation is interested in, or your service is interested in, and saying, well, is it leadership? Could I investigate a particular topic to make that better for citizens or for people who work in the organisation or whatever? So it gives you an opportunity to work on a challenge, a problem, and saying, well, okay, how could we do this? It allows you to collect data. You can interview people, or you can conduct focus groups or secondary research, or conduct Skype interviews or so on. So essentially it allows you to gather your own data and to really investigate a topic that you're interested in, and of value to the service or the organisation. And, students can produce really good work, and sometimes these documents can be published. So it's really gives you the opportunity to work on an area of interest within public leadership. The last thing I'm going to talk about now really is how the course is organised. Our course is delivered in blocks of 3 days, and we find that this is the perfect, or it's the model that current students prefer. So we deliver on a Wednesday, Thursday and a Friday at the moment, every 6 or 7 weeks, taking into account Christmas holidays, Easter holidays, and a little bit around the summer. So essentially we deliver in blocks of 3 days, and each module is delivered over 9 days. So blocks of 3 days, generally a block in October, a block towards the end of mid to end of November, for example, and then the end of December or the start of January. So essentially 3 different blocks for each module, and they're Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. We have built in through the course a number of assessments, as you can imagine, but some of these are group work. So for some of the delivery days, we enable the groups to come together to prepare their work in advance of the sessions. The programme is delivered by academics in Cardiff University who are internationally recognised within their field, but we also bring in guest speakers, people who are public leaders, who've experienced public leadership, and often talk to you about, how they got to where they are today and what the lessons are for you or for others in the group. But we also invite you as graduates and students on the course to participate in masterclasses we have going on in the university, research talks, and also breakfast briefings, we call them. So every 6 weeks or so, you could come to the university for a breakfast briefing, and here we have individuals come in, talk to an audience, invited audience in for an hour to talk about one aspect of their work. So these are often ideas maybe beyond your workplace, but should be of interest to you. So By joining Cardiff University and Cardiff Business School in particular, you will be, studying public leadership, but actually there's a whole lot of other things around you as well. One thing that's significant to all our leaders is the network that they operate in. And so by inviting in external speakers, by inviting you to research talks that we have going on in the university, these enable you to build up your network so that, when you then go to a conference or a seminar or you go to a work briefing, that you often will know the people who will be there, or you will have met them through your own contacts, but also through ours. One of the things I haven't talked about yet is the cohort that you'll be part of. Just to give you an example, from the first cohort, we have people in there from the Welsh Government, local authorities, health boards, Natural Resources Wales, the Office for National Statistics. We have somebody there from representing the FE colleges. At a risk of leaving somebody out of the current group, the second group, we aim to recruit a similar group, people from different agencies, different services, different organisations to come together. When you get a group from different backgrounds, it really does allow you to talk about challenges from a range of perspectives. So the network that you have that we will open up for you will be important, but so too will the network around the people who are on the programme. The current group are 12. The target would be for a similar size group, and you support each other through the programme. So as well as learning from academics and as well as learning from guest speakers and the network, you actually learn quite a bit from each other. The annual fee for the course is £7,000, and this is fairly standard within the sector. And I have lots more information to give to you about the programme, but really like to listen to some of the questions you have, and I'm happy to receive an email from you about the programme. I am on Twitter, so follow me and send me a tweet, send me a message, and I'm happy to get back to you. I'm happy to meet you on Zoom or Skype for Business, or even FaceTime if that's the medium you work with. Any of these, and happy to have a question from you, address it, and then talk further about the course. Thank you very much for listening to this video, and hope to talk to you at some point over the coming months. Thank you.